I just wanted you to know. Hey. How you feeling right now? Let me see you ladies in there. Let me see your middle finger in there. Let me see it.
Hi, I'm Adriana.
And I'm Jenna, and we're your anchors for this week's Blazer.
On this day in history, in 1492, Christopher Columbus discovers Cuba and claims it for Spain. In 1746, Peruvian cities of Lima and Callao demolished by earthquakes. 18,000 die. In 1904, St. Louis police try a new investigation of the fingerprint method. Now let's pass it on to Julian and Gio with sports.
Sports. On Saturday, the football team had a game at Livingston, which both JV and varsity lost.
Volleyball had a game on Tuesday at Dixon, which the girls lost. The boys soccer condition that started. They would not be having any tryouts. Girls soccer and basketball both start on November 7th.
Here's Jenna with the movie review.
Thanks, Julian. The movie review for this week is Boo, a Medea Halloween. It is a comedy horror. Medea winds up in the middle of mayhem when she spends a haunted Halloween fending off killers, paranormal poltergeists, ghosts, and ghouls, and zombies, while keeping a watchful eye on a group of misbehaving teens. This movie will have you on your feet laughing. I recommend it and give it a thumbs up. Now let's pass it on to Adriana with the inspirational quote.
I'm Adriana, and this is the inspirational quote. Don't waste your time with explanations because people only hear what they want to hear. Now here's Tiana with Teacher Interview.
Hi, I'm Tiana, and I'm here with Mr. Kearns, and here's our Teacher of the Week. How different does the school look since you graduated?
So Linders High School looks way different than when I was here because of their big renovation, renovation that they did with the senior walk and all that good stuff. It looks far different than when I was here. The buildings are pretty much the only thing that is still the same. Also, the kids and the atmosphere around the school has improved for even the better. So while I was here, I tried to do my best as ASB president to really up the school spirit and student involvement, and I thought I did a pretty good job compared to what it was before me. Now, though, it's even far better. The rally that we just had was probably the best rally I've ever seen in all my 4 years here. So kudos to all those involved in the rally. It was a really good job. So I think the whole atmosphere, the school look, everything has improved way more since I've been here.
That sounds nice. How did you end up teaching physics?
So I went to college and I wanted to become a school psychologist. My bachelor's is in psychology. When I was done, I had to go to graduate school, but they wanted me to have experience working with kids. And I had really no experience because I worked full-time while I was going to school. To get experience, I came back and I actually talked to Miss Peterson. We were at Duke's Diner, me, Miss Peterson, and Fran. And I was like, well, what could I do? Is there any volunteering I could do at Linders High School or something to get some experience working with kids? And she was like, well, why don't you just become a substitute teacher? You can get paid and you get your experience working with kids. So I was like, that sounds like a deal. So I went through the process to become a substitute teacher, and it takes forever, like 6 months at the minimum. So I started this process last January, and I got done just about the time that summer started last summer. Well, school's out, so now I had to wait through the whole summer, and when I got back, I was ready to go. Originally, I was actually supposed to be they wanted me to be a long-term sub for the geoscience class. But they found a teacher. Finally, after looking all summer, they found a teacher for geoscience, and they were like, sorry, Mr. Kearns, we don't need you for that. And I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. Literally 1 week into the school year, they said, all right, we need a physics teacher. Our physics teacher is out. And I was like, oh, I guess I could teach physics. Well, my first question was, do I have to teach AP physics? Because I was scared to death to teach AP physics, because that's a really tough class. And they said, no, we're getting rid of it. So I said, all right, I'm in. So I started teaching physics because they had a need, and I guess I was the best man for the job.
How does it feel to be back at Lyndhurst as a teacher?
It's definitely weird. While I'm here, I see all my teachers teaching, and I still want to call them Mrs. and Mr. this and that. And 9 times out of 10, they say, oh, no, you can call me first name here. And I was like, oh, that's probably been the hardest transition by far. None of them want me to call them by their last name anymore. So it is so difficult to go up to, like I was just saying, Miss Peterson. I still call Miss Peterson Miss Peterson. I'll probably never be able to call her by her first name. The only person that was easy was Fran, because Fran's Fran. Everybody calls her Fran. So I never had to call her by her first name. So that's definitely weird. The other thing is that they all kind of look at you as, when you're here, you're their student. They look at you as their student. And they respect you. Most of the teachers respect you as a person, but you're still their student. When you come back, for me, it's strange because now they're looking at me as like a young new teacher. So as a peer, but a new peer. And you can definitely see the difference, and it's strange.
What college did you attend, and how was your college experience?
So I went to well, at first I went to Yuba Community College for my first 2 years because I didn't get any financial aid and I'm really lazy, so I didn't do any scholarship stuff whatsoever. So I had to pay for all of my college, one way or another. I took out loans. So Yuba College is far cheaper than a CSU, and a CSU is far cheaper than a UC, and both of those are way cheaper than like a private college. So I went to Yuba College first because you still get the same general education at a fraction of the price. So I was like, easy, that's, easy decision there. I'm going to go with the cheaper option to get the same stuff. So I went 2 years to Yuba College, and then I transferred to CSU Chico. When I got to Chico, that's when, they start actually breaking the bank, so I had to get some loans, federal loans out, because once again, pretty lazy. So try and get those scholarships out there, kids. But I did not. I was not so fortunate to be that intelligent of an individual. So I worked through CSU Chico. I was probably not that interesting of a student. I know CSU Chico is supposed to be like a party school. I'm a pretty lame partier. So most of my time I just spent at home studying or at work working. I didn't have that much time for having fun, and I wasn't even that involved. It was kind of interesting actually, because here I was super involved. I played sports, did leadership, ASB. I was in like 5 clubs. I was busy all day long. Once I went to CSU Chico, I was like, I'm just going to focus on school, get out of here as quick as I can, and that's what I tried to do. So that was my college experience.
Well, thanks for being here with us and sharing all your stories. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is Tiana with the results from this week's poll.
The question was, who do you think will win the World Series? It showed that 62% of your fellow Blazers voted for the Cubs to win. The series is tied 1-1. Next week's poll is, who do you think will win the presidential election?
Also starting next week, we will be drawing names from the winning polls. The winners will receive a shout out on Blazer Insider and a tree. Make sure to come to our voting poll booth during lunch in the quad this Wednesday.
Now, let's pass it over to Joke of the Day with Adriana.
This week's joke of the day is, what happens when frogs park illegally? They get towed.
Make sure to come to the Interact Haunted House tonight from 5 to 9 p.m.
Thank you for watching this week's Blazer Insider, and make sure to tune in next week.
Have a great weekend, Blazers.